Hey IUP, my name is Olivia Hughes and welcome to the Penn Sports Network podcast. After a 14-16 finish last season, the IUP's men's basketball team is ready to turn over a new leaf. This weekend was the first step in the right direction with their season opener going 2-0 against two out-of-conference teams. We are excited to have two Crimson Hawks here with us today to give us their insights on the seasons ahead. Dallis Dillard, a fifth year who is back from an ACL injury, and Tyler Grove, a sophomore who started every game as a freshman. Thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah. Thank you for having us.
Of course. How did this weekend go for you guys? What'd you think?
Pretty well. Obviously got the outcomes that we wanted, so a lot of room to grow, which is also nice because it just tells us that we have a lot that we could work on and how much ceiling we have to get to as a team. So that was pretty good on my part, I feel like.
Yeah, a lot of positives, but like you said, just a lot of work to do. Still, we have a long season ahead of us, and I think that's a good start. It definitely boosted our confidence for these upcoming games.
Is it weird playing at the Fieldhouse compared to the KCAC?
I don't know. I feel like weird would be the wrong term. I feel like it would be like it's more like interesting because I don't think, if you could fact check me, I think the last time we played there was 7 years ago, I believe, something like that.
Oh wow!
So it's been a while,
Mm-hmm.
But we practice in there pretty frequently, especially when like volleyball's in season and stuff like that. So I wouldn't say it was weird. Actually, it was pretty loud in there. Shout out to the Hawk family for doing that and just showing support and showing love. We appreciate that. So,
what was it like getting back on the court after your injury?
So Friday was definitely like more a surreal moment. It's just been a while.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, almost going on 2 full years. So I've done 2 full seasons. I just feel good to be out there. I mean, regardless of how I played individually, just us getting 2 wins to start off the year is always great. It boosts confidence, like Tyler said. And yeah, it just felt great. I mean, just getting back into swing of things, doing the thing I love, and just being around guys who care and who I love to play basketball with. So,
what factors went into your decision of not coming back in the middle of last season?
So a couple of factors. One, us being young. I think it has a lot more pros and cons. I think obviously it comes with maturity and being able to grow up a little bit faster because we have younger guys playing, which is not really what we do here. But with that maturity, I think it gave them a good time of facing adversity in a lot of games, and obviously being 14-16. But a lot of those games could have been either way throughout that whole year. So that was part of the reason. Also knowing that we was going to have so much everybody returning and have such a good depth for this year, and just not being fully 100%. I was in practice, so I was able to practice. And I was cleared to practice. I think from that January-ish to that February and on, I was fully able to go 5-on-5 and live and stuff like that. And I could just tell I wasn't 100%, especially nowhere near where I was at now. So I think it just for the betterment of myself and finishing out what I think was a really blessed and great career as a Hawk here, and then alongside being able just to come back and do the whole thing over fully healthy was just the reasons why I did that.
Last season was the first losing season since the 07 and 08 team. What do you guys think were some of the biggest lessons that the team took away from last season?
That we have a lot of room to grow. We struggled a lot as a team. There was no issues with talent necessarily. It was just we had to learn how to play the game the right way. And as we continue to do that, we continue to see the benefits. And last year we just couldn't find that. We couldn't find that touch, or we couldn't find that connection on the court. But I feel that this year it's a lot different. We have guys like Dallis and Batista who are great passers, and they just add so much to our game offensively and defensively that we were missing last year. And I think everybody else that did play last year learned a lot, and we've all grown in tremendous ways.
What's the biggest difference do you see coming from high school basketball to college basketball?
It's a lot faster. Obviously, everybody's a lot more skilled. A term our assistant coaches use when we do scouts is that everybody can play. They're all players. So a lot of times in high school you have a lot of major mismatches and whatnot, but here it's more you really got to lock in on the finer details.
Do you think this season you'll be able to get back to your winning ways, and how do you think you'll be able to do that?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, again, even last year, I was interviewed a lot last year, just people wanted to just talk and see what my head was about the team. I really don't think, obviously, the record is a losing record, but it wasn't a losing season. I think it was just so much growth. Like Ty keeps saying, we're going to say it a lot throughout this podcast. But it was really just a lot of growth. I mean, these guys are coming from high school. You throw out a bunch of 18, 19-year-olds, what do you think is going to happen? You know what I mean? I think also as a fan base, and it's a little hard, but I think when you got a little spoiled with having those couple of 31 seasons in a row, and that, you know, that the quote unquote dynasty years and stuff like that. So they just got so accustomed to winning, and those were some crazy, crazy seasons. But I think to answer the second part of your question, how we get back to that, it's just by I think understanding each other's roles and understanding like how much depth we have and how much confidence we should put in within each other. I think that was one of the things that we showed yesterday, just getting out, really getting defensive stops, really trying to rebound together as a collective, and then just moving the ball, pushing the ball, because we have so many guys that are so skilled. Like Tyler said, it wasn't a skilled thing last year. It's definitely not a skilled thing this year. I think it's just more like a collective and more of having great leadership top to bottom. Like we're guys, no matter if you're the first man or the 15th man, we all know what our identity is, our agenda, and where we're trying to go as a whole. It's not just a one-man show or a two-man show. It's all of us. You know, it's the IUP Crimson Hawks.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, everything he said, you know, just continue to grow together, and just looking forward to the season in general.
Yeah. Do you think about having this almost the same exact roster from last season plays into, you know, the team chemistry and how you want to move on from last season?
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Just because those teams, so like we talked about those winning, those dynasty year teams, those weren't teams that were put together for one season. I remember my freshman year, those guys had been together before, I want to say at least 2 years, some of them even 3 years. Actually, some of them even 4 years were together before that freshman class, which was me, Callum McNamara, and Demir Brooks came in. Obviously, I played that year after Shondell Jones went down with a season-ending injury. Mac and Demir redshirted that year. And that whole crew was just like a collective. Like it was more so bringing in one guy into the rest and then just filling in and then just learning roles and getting together. I think that's why this year is so much more dangerous, because we've had guys who have faced adversity or who have seen what it's like to be out there and understand, like, all right, now we all know tendencies, we know chemistry, we have a feel for each other. And basketball is so much more than just X's and O's. I think chemistry is one of the biggest things. And that's why I think we played the way we played this weekend. Just knowing people's tendencies, knowing that Tyler may like to do this opposed to that, and knowing I like to do this opposed to that. Obviously, I'm not going to say what those things are, but we know people's tendencies of the teams and how to put them in the right positions and right spots to win.
Yeah, and I'd say that it's all a tribute to our coaching staff too. They do a great job, like pregame scout. Our pre-practices are, like, I think they're elite in terms of just we're super prepared for what's coming.
For sure, and I think there's a more gratitude for the finer things, for the X's and O's, like Tyler said. I think we have a more appreciation this year for our preparation, because preparation is so important. I mean, there's a couple times last year our preparation wasn't really good, and then we seen the same exact, for example, sets or concepts that teams would run in game, and we weren't prepared for those. I think yesterday, 2 moments that stood out for me were Lincoln ran a set that we had run over in preparation, and it was clear as day that it was going to happen. We did a great job defending it, and we got to stop there. We also got to stop with a different play, out of bounds set that they run, which we also prepared for in pregame. It just goes to show that we can't take any spot of the game for granted. Like everything from what you put in your body the night before, what you put in your body that day. You know, I mean, hours of sleep you're getting. Like you said, it's all preparation, and it's all so important. I think that's what also separated those great teams that we had in the past, because of how we prepared mentally and physically for those games.
Mm-hmm. How do you guys prepare for a game? What do you eat? What do you try to sleep?
I personally try to be in bed by 10:30, 11 o'clock and try to really get a couple hours. We usually do a great job with pregame meal. I mean, like I said, like he was talking about our coaching staff, they got all that handled. When we're in the KCAC, we have like pregame meal that's going to be in like pans and stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
So like they usually bring out like pastas and stuff like that. Some heavy, quote unquote stuff, but it's usually stuff that's beneficial for your body and really gets you ready for the game. So they just do a great job with that preparation as far as food wise. Sleep, we'll have like a pregame practice, we'll have a pregame film where we get to break down a lot of things, and then guys after that just get to go home, rest, maybe get in the treatment room with Rob. Again, that's part of our staff as well, athletic trainers. Like it's everybody, and that's the thing. Like it's everybody, the collective that takes this train going and keeps us running.
Do you do anything important that's like key for you?
Not really. Just make sure I get 8 hours of sleep.
You take a nap before you?
Yeah, pregame nap for sure.
I know a lot of guys take pregame naps.
Breakfast in the morning too. Can't skip breakfast.
What do you eat?
Probably just go to the dining hall, to be honest.
Fair.
Keep it free, you know?
Okay.
Fair enough. Who do you think this season is like due for breakout season?
On our team?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There's so many guys.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Ian Herring, showed.
Yeah.
He's just a gamer.
He
I think he's shown tremendous strides from last year. Responding is one of our biggest things this year. Obviously, with us being young, we have to always consistently fight immaturity, and just not immaturity in a negative way where we're getting on each other and we're being like disrespectful or anything like that, but maturity to say, all right, if I miss a layup or I miss a shot, that I can move on to the next play and I can respond well in the defensive end and stuff like that. And I think he's just doing a great job just playing his role. Wherever he has a night like he did yesterday where he had, I think, 15, 16, something like that, it was pretty high. Or if he has a night where he has 6, he's going to just be a great defensive leader. He rebounds the ball well. So I think he would be first on my list to have like a great breakout season because he's just understanding that he's just a gamer. And he's going to go out there and hoop no matter what it looks like. And it's not, sometimes it might not be pretty, but he's not there to look pretty. And I respect him a lot for that, for sure.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. Ian. I've been playing with Ian actually for a long time. I've been played travel ball with him since we were 16. So I've known him for a lot of time. He's always been super talented and just extremely athletic and quick. And for his height, it's such an advantage at this level. And I'm happy for him that it's starting to pay off for him, all the work he puts in, because he does put a lot of work into it.
Nah, for sure. I don't know. It's so many guys though. Like that's why I'm just sitting and thinking. Like
it's hard. I feel like, to be honest, it's really just to break out as a team this year. That's really our main goal.
Yeah.
I don't really think many people have any individual agendas. We just know that if we all do what we're supposed to do collectively, then
all the accolades are
all the
coming.
accolades are coming.
Yeah, especially with like I can't even say like guys like Kai and Christian because they've already had, I guess, quote unquote breakout. They already broke out. They had great years as freshman of the year, second All PSAC selection. So those two guys are coming back again. Batista is also going to be a great guy for us. He's just a monster down there rebounding and just being like an enforcer. Every team needs one of those. But then you can't leave out Demir. Demir is always going to give you constant double every night. Just solid, And I don't know, it's really hard to pinpoint that. So I would agree, and I like the way Tyler put it, that it's just a collective breakout. And I think the fans can feel it. I think it's in the air, especially around, and I think they understand that this is definitely not going to be like a 14, 16 year in a year where we don't compete every single game, every single night, every single minute like we've had these first 2 games. Like that's something we really want to build off of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Tyler, did you expect to have as much as an impact that you did coming into your freshman year?
Coming into it, I really didn't have any expectations. I just wanted to do whatever I could to play because I love playing the game. But as we got closer to the season, I started to see, okay, maybe I'll have a chance to come off the bench, and then we started scrimmaging. I was like, okay, maybe I'll have a chance to start, and just so happened that I was busted up to start all 30 games as a freshman, and I learned a lot. Obviously, I probably wasn't necessarily ready to play at a high level, but I learned a lot, I grew a lot, and I'm glad it happened.
Dallis, you played with Armani, who is now a coach. How is that dynamic shift, and how do you handle that?
That's a really good question, actually. It's funny because it makes me feel old, but it probably makes him feel old that I'm still playing too. So he was the guy. One of the reasons I came here. Unfortunately, that summer, my grandmother had passed away, and he was one of the first guys that I guess Coach had started reaching out about my recruitment process and stuff like that. I was actually in Puerto Rico when I committed to IUP, and me and him were just talking, and he's always been a big brother of mine since then. Even that whole first season of mine was crazy. Now looking back at it, how much success we had, I think it was kind of taken for granted for me personally, because obviously I didn't know what to expect in college, and we come in and have a 32-3 or 33-3, whatever it was, season, gets to the Final Four, win the Atlantic to PSAC. Crazy season. He had obviously all his personal accolades. He played point guard, is phenomenal here, and I think it's funny to see that dynamic shift because now I'm older, and it's like, yes, you're still a big bro for sure, but also now it's more like a two-way street, especially with him being on the coaching staff and me being one of the captains of this team. It's the dynamic has changed slightly, but at the end of the day, I'm always going to look up to him and just always piggyback off of him for knowledge and wisdom because he's done things that I want to get to and accomplish things that I want to do as well, individually, of course. And he just knows what a championship team looks like. I mean, he's been a part of multiple championship teams here. He's definitely going to be a Hall of Famer in a couple of years when he's eligible, and he's just a great guy to have around. He really tries to make all of us better.
What is it like to have Armani as a coach for you?
I've actually known Armani for a long time.
Oh, wow.
I came to camp here when I was like in middle school, so he was one of my camp counselors. So I've followed him on Instagram since I was like 12 years old or whatever. But he also reached out to me like getting recruited because he heard that IUP was recruiting me, and he just reached out and told me how great of a program it was here. And so it's cool to have him as a coach now. I'm still doing the same ball handling routine that I was doing when I was 13 at camp, so it's fun.
Did you realize when coming to the middle school camp that like this is where I wanted to be, or?
No, to be honest, my grandparents live in Indiana, or my grandpa still lives here, but yeah, I just came to the camp just summertime, staying with my grandparents. But yeah, I met Coach Lombardi like real early on, so it's funny.
Yeah.
Little full circle moment.
For sure. Does your team have any like random traditions that you guys do that you love?
We dance after every game. So after every win, we get in the locker room, we dance any type of song.
Say birthdays.
Okay, we have a lot actually. So birthdays, we'll give them that one. Half-court shots on the day of a game.
Yeah.
If you make 3 half-court shots, you get a little prize as a team, which is it's a good prize. So we gotta start hitting those.
Yeah. Birthdays,
dancing after wins, because you have to cherish every win. Doesn't matter if it was a 1-point win or a 40-point win. Coach has one of these sayings. He hasn't said it this year, actually, not yet, but everybody has a jar, and this year there's 27 marbles in the jar, guaranteed. After each game, one of those marbles is going to keep coming out because there's so many games you have left. And when you play every game like it's your last game, I think you have a better appreciation, especially because of how, I don't want to sound cliche, but how time really does fly. Like, I really do feel like my freshman year wasn't so long ago. Now I've gone on 5 years here, so those traditions are great. And the biggest one is just how our staff and how our team carries themselves as just being religious. We pray before every game together. We have Bible studies together. We have worship together. There's really not much we don't do together. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
We eat together. Like, there's nothing we don't do together.
Just the North together.
We don't do anything by ourselves, basically. But definitely just being in touch with our faith. And there's been players that aren't of faith, and that's perfectly fine. We've never, discriminated against them or anything like that. Everybody is part of the brotherhood, and everybody is part of the family. But I just love how there's an open resource to guys if they do love that type of thing and really want to play for Christ and play for Jesus. I think it's just amazing that we get to do that.
That's great. Who's the biggest hype man on your team?
All right, let's say one name on the count of 3. Let's see what you say. 3, 2, 1. Mir. Okay. So Mir is one. I would say he has a good point with bring energy in different ways. Christian he lets it out. He definitely be screaming a lot here and there. Yeah. Batista, of course, he's like the madman of the team.
Kai.
Yeah, Kai, everybody. Ian yesterday, the bench. Our bench is. I think we have the best bench in the country, by far. All of those guys that know they're not even ever going to dress up this year. Ralphie, Blundo, Tasso, they're getting up after every bucket, every 3. Director of Ops, of course, D-Money, Braden. He always is doing his thing on the bench. So I would say everybody brings it, honestly. You'll catch me screaming a bunch, catch him screaming a bunch. So yeah, I think all of us have to feed off it. Like it's contagious. Energy is contagious. Like we all come in here and we're all depressed, sad, down. Then we're all gonna talk like, yeah. But if we're all in here upbeat, laughing, smiling, having a good time, we're all gonna, have better things to say. Same thing with basketball. If Tyler hits a three, I'm like, all right, good job, Tyler. Or if Tyler hits a three, I'm like, boom, let's go. It's total different energy, and energy is contagious, and that's also the reason why I think we're gonna have a great year, because guys love to see other guys win. There's nobody that shoots a shot, makes a basket without somebody saying something, somebody giving a high five. Usually it's all five of us, but at least two or three, if we're in the middle of a possession, are coming up and being like, good shot, let's get another one, let's do this, do that. So just the unselfishness of the team is really something I think is why we're going to be so good as well.
What do you got? What's your strategy for the rest of the season? What are you looking forward to? How are you approaching every game?
I'm looking forward to every game, like individually. I'm really looking forward to next Saturday now. But in terms of strategy, I'd say just stay together and grow together. Listen to our coaches and just see what we can improve on. Focus on our film. But yeah, stay together. I mean, communication's a big thing with us, and I think that goes for on and off the court. Coach would say being truth tellers. I think we do a good job of that as teammates. Telling each other the truth, whether it's going to hurt your feelings or not.
Yeah, I think basically everything Tyler said. I think the biggest one is definitely being truth tellers. There's gonna be days where even like me and Tyler might not like each other on the court. It's gonna be days because we go so hard in practice. Everybody's competing all the time, but knowing that what happens on the court stays on the court, and knowing that even if me and him are having like a discommunication or not being on the same page and clicking, knowing that it's out of love and it's out of us wanting to compete. So if Tyler has to call me out on something that he feels like I'm not doing right, and I know I should be doing, like we have a thing called playing 212, because that's when water boils at 212 degrees. So if I had to call Tyler or Tyler has to call me out, that's just what it is, and you have to be able to handle that and be mature enough. Again, with the maturity of just having truth tellers in your life, because we all know that we all love each other, and we actually mean that, and we actually want to see everybody successful, whether that's on the basketball court or off. So I think that's our approach. Communication for sure. And just again, like I keep saying it, but just responding well to failure, because one thing we want to do is invite failure. You want to invite failure because it gives you a chance to then succeed, because you're failing. And when you fail, you have room for growth. If you don't ever fail, then are you really growing? Are you really getting better? Are you really becoming the best possible version of yourself you can be? No. So that's where our approach is. And then next Saturday, we definitely just looking forward to that. But taking it one day at a time, looking forward to Monday. Practice on Monday. Practice Tuesday, practice whenever, maybe Wednesday we're off Wednesday, But, just taking each day with its own identity, and winning the day is one of our biggest things as well, just winning that day.
What's your go-to pump-up song?
I'll go Anything by NBA Youngboy.
Games of War, Youngboy, for sure.
Favorite NBA player?
Kevin Durant.
Bron's the GOAT, but right now Shea is nice.
What's your favorite pregame meal? I know we talked about it a little bit, but
Pasta.
Yeah, I would say pasta or a steak. Steak is good.
Okay. What's your favorite shoe brand?
Nike.
Jordan. Same thing, if you know.
What's your favorite sports movie?
Probably Hoosiers.
This is rapid fire, like Mike.
Okay. And then what's your favorite way to relax?
I'll either play 2K or take a nap.
I was going to say sleep, play with my son, Ace, my dog.
All right, that's it. Thank you guys so much for listening to the podcast. Make sure you check out the other podcasts and all the articles written on the Penn.
Please come support Saturday, 3:30. We play at UPJ, so only about 40 minutes. And I saw a bunch of UPJ fans here watching them, so hopefully we could reciprocate that energy. 3:30 UPJ, we play Ashland.
Then we have our first game of the season in the KCAC on Sunday at 5:30 versus the Uville. So come and support.
Please. Appreciate you, our family.
Thank you.